got one to show off right now. Actually, I'm going to be doing like 3 videos, so I got 3 to show off, but film them individually. But here is a super cool one of my, I don't know what the good word for these dials are because they're bronzed, but they're bronzed in a way that gives the Kraken itself a very cool, like fiery kind of look to it. So this is Dan's first watch from me, which is awesome that he picked that he wanted a Kraken from me. So showed him a bunch of dials. He went with this dial, which in some lights it looks nice and super clean, and in some you get to see those little pock marks all over it where the oven just kind of made it pop in spots. So super cool. We painted it one color, but with those with the heat, it makes that background go into like a light blue, and you can see the purples in different spots. So he wanted a bronze setup. So this is antique bronze cerakote coating on here. So Dan, in case you don't know, we bead blast the case. So originally it's more like, do I even have a 150? I do. I got a 150 right here. So they come in this like super high polish. This high polish though, it scratches super easy. You can scratch it with your fingernail. So I'm not sure what the deal is with it. So we take this and we bead blast it to take all that down. And then it's essentially kind of like a powder coating. You do it with guns, it's abrasion resistant. We spray antique brass on there. It makes all your tensions a little bit tighter. I say tensions. That's not the proper word. Tolerances. Makes your tolerances a little bit tighter. Like when you're putting the glass back in and such, and screwing the crown on and putting your case back on. But we did the case, the bezel, and the clasp in antique bronze. And then when I did the glass and put it back in, I did a gold ring in there because silver was too far away. Gold wasn't necessarily perfect, but that's the only options that we have unless we don't put one in there at all. And we want one in there because it actually gives a better tightness where water's concerned. It puts an additional pressure on the inside of that glass to push it out. We took some silver hands. The wife hand, we soaked them in acetone and removed the lume. And then she hand painted those into a nice brassy bronze color. And then we went back and did 3 coats of lume on them. And do I have a flashlight over here? Of course I never do when I need one. Somehow all 3 always get back over to my desk where I don't really ever use a flashlight. But there is a reference point to that. So there it is, loomed up, and then did matching loom for your pips around it. So yeah, the crown itself is brown cerakoted, so that's going to go with your Kraken strap. So we did a super soft and pliable strap for you. I think you will really like this strap. It's very comfortable. Blue stitching on there, and anchor engraving on the crown. Low profile exhibition case back, right? Black rotor. There's a stainless steel movement holder in there. When the donor watch has a plastic one in there, and it comes with just a randomly the Vostok logo on those etched out. So those are swapped out. That's your build as a whole, man. I hope you like it. I thought it turned out really awesome. When you're looking at it straight on, with the light not hitting it, it just looks kind of distressed, and you can see the colors. And then once you get in there, then it completely changes color. And then if you can get it into some light, you can see where some Pink's kind of popping there. Right down there at 6 o'clock, you can see that pink in there. So, very cool. It's awesome you picked this dial, man. I love these dials. And I don't put enough of them out there. And I don't know why. But making a bunch more, and people are going to get them whether they like it or not. And then they'll go, oh shit, I should have picked that. It does look awesome. So yeah, man. So just so you know, with these, the bezels are non-clickable. They'll go left, they'll go right. I just put them on with a little bit of tension. They're held on with a tension ring. So what I do is I put a tension ring in there and I add a little bit of dental floss to make it a little bit tighter. The way these come stock, you can just kind of spin these things. So put it on there just a little bit tighter. It's more just for looks than it is actually for any kind of functionality. I mean, once it's on there, you obviously know where 15 is, but if you like needed to gauge out 15 minutes, you could, literally just put it on there like that, so you'd know where that is. And it is decently hard to kind of push it, so I mean, you should, if you bump it, you won't bump it very far, is what I'm getting at. And it doesn't come flush all the way out to the side, so chances are you won't catch your finger on it to push it around. But this is an automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder to keep time. But if it's dead, or you're not going to be very active, like you're driving or something like that, you'll want to pre-wind it just a little bit to make sure that you don't lose any time. Because if you just put it on your wrist and you're not moving around very much to move this rotor around that winds it, you're going to lose time. So how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You'll also see and feel a little bit of play right there, right? But you can hear it clicking. Now a wind is a turn away from you, that way. Going backwards doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier for your spacing to just go back and forth, keeping it away from, because if you start just going one direction, you put a little pressure on there, you might start threading it back on. It's more of an inconvenience than you're hurting anything. But for me, I just go back and forth. I just go rapid back and forth. So if you do this for 4 or 5 seconds, like what I'm doing, before you put it on, you're going to keep time throughout the day mixed with your movement. If you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31-hour plus power reserve. You cannot overwind these, so you can wind this all day. You just will not put any more input into it once the mainspring is fully compressed. So you can just sit there and wind it. And this is what I do to make sure that it's running, because I built your watch last night. I wound it up, and then I set it down, and I check it the next day, and that tells me that it's keeping time. That means that I've set your position back here, because you can adjust it, that little lever right there. You can bump it up or push it down a little bit. Only that lever, not this double thing over here. Just this little lever right here. It adjusts this little arrow that points to the plus and the minus. Pulling it this way makes it spin towards the plus. Pushing it that way moves it towards the minus. That's some like fine tuning you can do to the watch. If you're like, these are like a minus 20 seconds to plus 40 seconds a day. But you can really kind of get it fine tuned in there to where it's like, it's only gaining 4 seconds a day if you're wearing it all the time. But that's what that fine tuning is. But I wind it up, just make sure it's good, and check it the next day, make sure it's keeping proper time. But if you pull it to the one and only click, you can now set your time. Okay, you're going to notice that you've got flex in here, and this is called a wobble crown. The point of that is when you're pushing and prying out, you're not putting pressure into that stem and transferring into the movement. It is rolling. It is deflecting that to not put pressure on that, to not put pressure on this, to not bend anything. But if you just pull it straight, you won't really even feel that, which is kind of what I do with it. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 2:46 p.m.
2:46. You just back it back, push it right back to where it's against those threads, and then screw it down. And that is the build, sir. As a whole, as with every build, you're going to have matching beads. It's entirely up to you whether you wear them or not, but they do go with it, and it looks stellar together. Doesn't matter if you wear them on the front of your wrist or your back of your wrist. Normally we make them all the same size. If it's a little too dangly, then I slide them on, put them on the back side so that it's on the thicker part of your wrist, But we do not use beads that will hurt a watch. So they're glass beads. As with every build, you get a custom box. You're going to get a brown Kraken box. To take care of your watch, everything is included for that. You're going to have some watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything here in the center. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. You're going to have some leather conditioner. This will keep this strap perfectly soft. If you ever feel that it's not getting soft or not as pliable, put some on there. A little bit will go a long way. Just dab your finger, dab a little rag in there. Don't soak up a lot, and you can wipe it all over the damn thing. Like a tiny, this will last you as long as your strap. Don't be getting a teaspoon of this stuff out. We're talking like a quarter of a teaspoon, right? So, and then lastly, this is an acrylic glass, and you can scratch it, but if you do, no big deal. This is a Novus 2 from Amazon repackaged. It's basically like a poly watch. If you scratch it, put a tiny bit on it, buff over it using your included microfiber that your watch will be wrapped in, and go against the scratch, filling the scratch. Generate some heat with your thumb back and forth, and it will solidify that scratch, being gone way quicker. Knock it out in about 20 seconds. And then, for you, good sir, I appreciate everything that you've done, and you will also be getting one of my custom leather wallets. Let me get my camera back just a hair, where I can actually show it to you. So, space here, 3 cards here, and money up there. So, distressed, you can scratch it up, and then just rub it in. Use your leather conditioner, but it's made to just do whatever, man. So, the more and more you beat it up, the more pliable it gets, the more unique you get it. So, do whatever you want, man. Scratch it up. Use that leather conditioner, and you will make it part of the wallet. So, but it will look more and more distressed as you use it. So, but super soft, super pliable, very comfortable wallet, just like your strap. So, and same thing with your strap. You can scratch your strap, see that? And just rub it in, add that leather conditioner in there, and now you'll have a little bit of that discoloration right there. So, very cool. But I appreciate your time, buddy. Sorry for the longer video, guys. This is his first watch. I want to make sure I was going over every aspect of it for him. And if you want me to be able to use something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.